Well, the two witnesses arrive. I already read that in verse 3. And again, God introduces us to his team members, this time to the two witnesses. They are especially testifying to Israel. That's their purpose. Their need of the Messiah. They serve for 42 months or 1,260 days, which is 3.5 years, until the Antichrist slays them. You notice that God said, and we already covered this in Smyrna, just because you serve the Lord doesn't mean you escape death. Doesn't mean you escape persecution. Doesn't mean you escape all the troubles. So these two witnesses are invulnerable until they finish the course. Remember Paul said, I fought the good fight, I've kept the faith, I've finished the course. I've run all the agonizing laps of the stadium that God wanted me to run, and now they're marching me outside to mile marker, I don't remember, we were just in Rome, and there's mile marker number 13, I think, of the Roman road system where they marched citizens out that had to be executed. They took them way outside the city so no one would see it, and Paul was taken out there and beheaded because he was a Roman citizen. He wrote half the Bible. He didn't escape martyrdom. Same for the citizens or the members of the church in Smyrna. The same for the two witnesses, and very possibly the same for the 144,000. We're going to bump into them today. They go into all the world during the plagues. They don't get killed by the plagues. They go into all the world during all those horrible things, but by the time we get to chapter 14, they're all in heaven now. How did they get there? Most likely, like the apostles, like the people of Smyrna, like the two witnesses, they suffer. So don't think that serving the Lord somehow makes us impervious to, as again, Mark Strout says, that there are many trials. But the Messianic Jewish revival comes because of their work. Verse 4, John draws from Zechariah 3 and 4. The Old Testament minor prophet Zechariah, chapter 3, chapter 4, talks about the two olive trees and the lampstands that spark a revival in the Old Testament times, speaking of a future, and now we're seeing it. Zechariah says there's going to be a future revival here in the tribulation among God's chosen people of promise. So basically, this is everything that the two witnesses, the Bible tells us about them. They are measuring the outer court of the Gentiles, so that means the temple is allowed to be there, and for 42 months it's overrun, trampled. The two witnesses are empowered. They can call down fire from heaven and shut the heaven with no rain like Elijah did. They can turn water into blood like Moses. They can smite the earth with plagues. That's why God never tells us who they are. He just tells us what they do. And so there are all kinds. Some people think it should be Elijah and Enoch because both of those were translated to heaven. They're great candidates. But why did Jesus show himself and talk about all that was ahead on the Mount of Transfiguration with Moses and Elijah? So there are clues, but God doesn't name them, so we don't need to know. But the beast from the abyss, that's the Greek word, abusos, kills them. The earth dwellers celebrate. They're resurrected after 3.5 days. So that's the complete history of the two witnesses. They serve in verses 5 and 6. And like I said, I already read everything that happens. God's protecting them. We don't need to speculate. The clues probably is the Mount of Transfiguration. Because there, Christ is, in this brilliant, blinding glory like he's going to be. Remember how Paul describes the second coming, 2 Thessalonians 1:7? In flaming fire, he descends from heaven, taking vengeance on his enemies and consuming them. That's what they were talking about.